very warm welcome from me as well. Thank you for joining us in person here. If you brave the cold or online, it's very special to have you with us today as we continue our Faith Actually series. So today is week 2 of the series. If you missed the first week, I encourage you to go and catch it up on YouTube or on our church online page, and you can catch up with where we are. But we're journeying through the book of Acts for the next couple of weeks. And so all the things I'm going to speak about today, you can sign up for on Linktree. So it's tr.ee/Hoperidge, and you can sign up for all the different devotionals or the course or whatever else is coming up. Or if you just like to get in touch or give us some information, you're welcome to sign up at Linktree. So there are a couple of ways that we've asked you to really dig deeper during this series, and one of them is to do our daily reading plan, and we're reading through the book of Acts together, so you can still join that challenge. Sign up on Linktree. We'll send you the link and the details. It's on the YouVersion Bible app, but we'd love for you to join in with that. And then we also have small groups that are connecting, some online, some in person. So won't you join a small group? There's small group material that's available every week. You can also find that on our YouTube channel if you just like to work through that on your own. But you are welcome to join a small group and to connect in and really grow together as we go deeper with each sermon topic each week. There are also daily devotionals that are sent out on WhatsApp and on our social media platforms. So if you'd like to receive them as a WhatsApp, won't you please get hold of us if you don't currently do that, and we will be able to sign you up to that group. Then this last yesterday, we started our deep dive into Acts course. We're doing it just online and not in person, but there's still one more week left. So if you'd like to join us next Saturday, and we're continuing with the deep dive into Acts course, and that's at 10 o'clock until 12-ish, probably a little bit shorter, and you can join us and be a part of that. This coming week, we're looking at the original feast of Pentecost and what it meant, and then what the significance and just the layers of meaning is when the Spirit came at Pentecost. And then we're going to go through each chapter of Acts in a bit of detail and look at that. So it really is just a Bible study that really dives deep. And so won't you please join us for that? It's online, 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. So again, you can sign up for all of those things on Linktree. And then I'm going to bring up Trevor, I'm going to ask you to first bring up the QR code for us. So if you would like to be on any of our mailing lists or databases or WhatsApp groups, won't you just scan this QR code now? It will join you to our group, and you will be able to receive information about what's happening in the life of the church. And we look forward to connecting with you in that way. Then on your seats, there are a couple of on a mission booklets, brochures, that just give you a bit of detail about what we're doing in terms of mission in the life of the church. And obviously, it's a little bit more challenging than usual. Mission is always challenging because our country has such incredible need. There is such dire need all around us all the time. And it's very difficult to always know how we can serve people, how we can serve them in an empowering way, in a sustainable way that really is going to make a difference. And COVID has made that even more difficult for us because we as a church really believe not just in a handout, but in building relationships with people, in going to them where they are, and meeting with them and looking them in the eye, because we find we learn so much more from them than they ever do from us and receive so much from them. But obviously that's not possible during COVID. And so that booklet just gives you a bit of information about what we are doing at the moment and the projects that we're involved in, and you can read a little bit about that. There's Ratangbana, there's a feeding scheme in Tembisa that we provide food to on a weekly and a monthly basis. We also still partner with Jackson's Real Food, who are incredible people who give us their sell-by-date products, and we're able to distribute those and coordinate the distribution of those to a whole lot of people. And then there are a whole bunch of other things that are in the pipeline. So next Sunday, we're going to ask you please to join us here. We're going to there's some ladies who pack mission packs during the week, little food bags, and we have blankets that we've ordered that we hoped would be here this week, but they haven't arrived, so we're going to do it next week. And we're going to ask all of you to actually take a blanket and a food pack or a few and go and distribute it to people that you know are in need. We're also desperately in need of volunteers. There's a community just down the road here that we distribute food to on a weekly basis. But Lucy, who heads that up, has not been well the last couple of weeks, and so we haven't been able to get out there. And so if someone is willing to be a part of that and to help us with that distribution on a weekly basis, or just every now and again, please won't you let us know. It doesn't have to be a specific time or day that the food goes, but we could just organize and arrange that with you. And then there's a couple of other things that are also coming up on the 6th of July. We're packing meals with Rise Against Hunger. And that really is an incredible way for us to physically get involved and to use our own hands to pack those meals. But then they go out to communities. We keep some to distribute here, but they also go out to communities that they help in very sustainable ways, normally early childhood development centers. And then we really encourage you to be a part of that. I also just want to mention that obviously your giving and your generosity to the church is how we power our mission and do our mission work. And so thank you so much to all of those who give so generously that enable us to do that work. For Rise Against Hunger particularly, they are a Section 18A company, which means they can issue tax certificates. So if you would like to donate specifically toward Rise Against Hunger and to help us fund those meals, also that we can pack more meals on the 4th of July, please won't you get hold of us. They can issue you a tax deductible certificate for your donation as an individual or for your company. So please won't you get hold of us if you're interested in doing that. On that sheet, I also encourage you to look on the back page. It says, how can I get involved in the mission that is happening? And obviously, if you're physically here, it's a little bit easier for those online. I encourage you to get involved too by giving, by being a part of what we're doing, and by finding places in your own community, if you're not around here, where you can serve. But if you are practically here, there are a couple of ways that you can get involved. You can obviously make financial contributions to the church to enable us to do our work and also to continue to do our mission work. You can bring items, so you can bring them on during the week. Sundays are a little bit tricky for items for donation because we noticed that we were very freely receiving and very freely giving out without anyone having any accountability of what was coming in and what was going out on Sundays. So Sundays are a little bit tricky just because stuff disappears before we know that it's been donated. And so if you have some items you want to donate, won't you get hold of us, bring them during the week, and we can coordinate that. And there are also lots of other ways we're actually working. One of the things that we really believe in is we don't necessarily want to go and start our own feeding scheme because there are plenty of people who are already doing it. They're on the ground in Tembisa, in Alex. We have partnerships with them. So let's support those amazing people who are doing the work. One of those people is Ingrid at Ratsangbana, and you'll see on that thing I wrote, she was helping about 380 children who have child-headed households before COVID started. She now is looking after over 3,900 people that she is feeding. And I don't think we understand the scale and the intensity of the pressure of all of that. And so we've also realized the biggest thing that we can do to support her ministry is actually to look after Ingrid and to make sure that her emotional and spiritual and physical needs are being met. We've taken her for some doctor's appointments and just, some trauma debriefing and just trying to help her. There are some amazing people in our congregation who are working with her to try and help her make her business model more sustainable and that she isn't the only person who can do anything there. And so if you have wisdom and advice and experience that you can lend to that kind of situation, won't you please get hold of us and help us to connect you up with those people? Because that really is our heart for this season, is to support the people who are already doing it really well. Another person is Dennis in Tembisa, and she also started like this very random sort of informal thing. She was looking after about 40 little children, and now she's also feeding hundreds of people in her community, and she's getting lots of donations, but there's very little accountability and everything's just a bit all over the place. And so we want to help her formalize her organization as an NPO and register properly, and then she can get more donations and support the work that she is doing. So if you can assist us with those kinds of businessy admin things, that would really be helpful at this stage. We also have a very exciting project that we're starting to get involved in called Funda Kunye, which is people actually approached us. They run a training program for early childhood development centers, or rather for very informal creches who should become early childhood development centers. And a lot of these children are just kind of left. They are physically looked after, but there's no stimulation going on. And we know how critical those first 1,000 days of a child's life are. And so they've asked us to partner with them, maybe to try and adapt some of our kids' church material to use as part of the resources that they're giving to these ladies that they're training. And then there's also a whole project that they're going to start there where you can adopt an early childhood development center and look after them and make sure that they are resourced both educationally and physically and all of those things. So that's a really exciting project that's coming up that we are going to get involved in, but it's still in the early phases. So I know that there's often a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and we wanted to make you aware of what is happening, but also to ask you to get involved and it's not necessarily about a financial contribution. If you have business savvy and you have skills that we could use to help these people, won't you please get hold of us? And we would love to be able to support them in that way. We really believe that the body of Christ has every part that is needed. And so everyone has a different skill and something different to offer, which is actually in my sermon. So I'm preaching already, so I should stop. So please read the pamphlet that was handed out to you, and get hold of us if you have any questions or queries about how you can get involved further. And please invite people for the 6th of July to come and join us for the Rise Against Hunger. And for Mandela Day on the 18th of July, we're actually going to do a prayer walk around this community. We need to serve people not just with food, but also with prayer. So that's going to be a great thing. So also join us for that. Okay, and then just again, thank you so much to those who give. We don't pass around the offering basket here on a Sunday. There's a box at the back there on the mantelpiece if you'd like to make a cash offering. Otherwise, please make use of our banking details or our PayPal account. Thanks so much, everyone. We're going to enter into a time of worship now, but as we do, we're just going to prepare our hearts with a short clip as a call to worship. But won't you stand with us as we worship together?